This is the voice of reason, bringing reason, logic, and enlightenment to the world for those who have eyes to see and for those who have ears to hear. Today's topic will be a brief summary of the beginning. In order for us to understand where we are today, we must understand where we came from, how it all started, and what was the beginning. It has been universally accepted by different nations, cultures, races, religions, languages, that before the heavens and the earth, before the sun, the moon, the stars, before the earth, before humans and spirits, before light and darkness, there was an all-powerful, omnipotent, omniscient, all-knowing, all-hearing, all-seeing, perfectly intelligent being that existed alone. In the Far East, in ancient China, this supreme was expressed as Pangu, who was the first supreme being and the originator of the heavens and the earth. In the beginning, the universe was nothing but chaos, and the heavens and the earth were intermingled in a black egg, from which this egg would split and it would form the sky and the earth below. In Africa, this supreme was expressed as Kagan by the San and the Khoisan people of South Africa. The supreme first being and the creator of the world. According to the Yoruba people of Nigeria, this same supreme deity is called Olorun, the creator and owner of everything that exists. Ol, which sounds similar to the ancient Canaanite Hebrew word El, who was the supreme deity and supreme being and creator of all. Orun, referring to the spiritual world, and Aye, referring to the physical world. Hence, Al-Orun, the God of the spiritual world and the God of Aye, the physical world, who created all things that exist. The Ewe people express the creator and supreme being as Mawu in their language. In the Twi language of the Akan, the Ashantis express God as Nyame or Nyankopon. Nyame, the one who knows and sees everything, the one who is omniscient and omnipotent, the sky god. Nyankopon, meaning the God alone, the great God to whom Saturday is dedicated, which again reminds us of the Jewish Sabbath, which is dedicated to the Supreme Yahweh. Nyame is prefixated with the noun, or with the letter, I should say, N, which conveys the idea of immensity and power, which leaves the root word Yamme. Yet Rattray and Cristalla both assert that the letter M is interchangeable with W in the Ashanti language. In other words, the Ashanti name for God can be pronounced as Yamme or Yahweh. Again, reminding us of the Jewish God, or the God of the Bible, Yahweh. The word for creator in Shanti is Bore, which again reminds us of the word bara in Hebrew. In the book of Genesis, Bereshit bara Elohim, In the beginning, God created. And in Arabic, one of the names of the Supreme is Al-Bari, the shaper and the former, coming from the Arabic word bara, which means to form or shape. According to the Luba of Congo, this Supreme Being is expressed as Shakapanga, the universal creator, the Supreme Being of the natural and supernatural world. Amongst the Dogon people of Mali, this same Supreme Being, Creator God, Master of life and death, who prevails over all, sees all and knows all, is expressed as Amma. Amma. The Mandingos express the Supreme Being as Ngewo, the Supreme Being, the creator of the universe and everything in it, the one who knows everything. Nothing good or evil can happen without his permission. Amongst the Dinka of Sudan, the expression of the Supreme Creator God is Nayalik, the controller of destiny and every human, plant, and animal on earth. According to the ancient Egyptians, this Supreme Being was expressed as Natchar or Natar, which has the letters N-T-R, N-T-R, and is symbolized by the flag. A very clear explanation of this nature was expressed by Baba Haru, the chief priest of the shrine of Ptah, who mentioned, after he was asked whether we believe in a Supreme Being, he said, yes, we call that force Ntara, Nachar, or the Great Divine, just like today. Don't you have God? He further went on and explained, actually what we refer to as gods and goddesses are actually facets and attributes of Ntara, or the Nachar or the Most High. Or some say Nachar or Natar, who is the indifferentiated divinity, meaning that it is one divinity and is not divided into different parts or elements, that governs all creation. If you, as a jeweler, I look at a gem or diamond and I see that the diamond has many facets, each throwing off the light, depending on how the light hits it, a different light appears or is reflected. Antara is the undifferentiated divinity that has many aspects and many expressions. Our ancestors used animals, birds, and reptiles to describe aspects of these different aspects of divinity. What he's saying is that the ancient Egyptians understood that there was one Natar and one sole, all-powerful, supreme being that is behind all the creation. And they understood that this supreme being had names and attributes. And how they would express wisdom of the Creator, knowledge of the Creator, would be through drawing pictures of animals. An example of this is Tahuti, who symbolizes wisdom of this same supreme being. And because the baboon in itself expressed wisdom in African culture, they would then express the wisdom of the Creator by drawing the picture of the baboon. And there are many examples similar to this. The flag, as we mentioned, which symbolizes this Natar, it symbolizes the wind blowing in order to emphasize the concept of an unseen Creator. An ancient Egyptian text provides this description of the Natar, which was translated by Dr. Brugsch, who uses the word God in place of Natar. God is one and alone, and none other existeth with him. God is the one who hath made things. God is spirit, the spirit of spirits, the great spirit of Egypt. He existed when nothing else existed, and what existeth he created after coming into being. God is hidden, and no man can know his form. No man hath been able to seek out his likeness. He is hidden to gods and men, thus emphasizing that he is the beginning, nothing came before him, and that he is unseen. We can see the example of an unseen God throughout African culture. Also, in ancient Egypt, this same Natar and supreme being was also expressed as Ptah, the craftsman. Ptah, the opener, the one that created and brought into existence everything else, which is similar to the word in Arabic, Al-Fattah, which is one of the names of God in Arabic. Al-Fattah meaning the opener. And sometimes the Arabic F can be interchangeable with the P sound in hieroglyphics. Ptah is the supreme being and sole God and creator of all things and everything that exists. He is also known as the Lord of Ma'at, the Lord of law, order and justice. In a hymn to Ptah it mentions, "Hail to thee, Ptah Tanen, great God who concealeth his form. Thou art watching when at rest, the Father of all fathers and of all gods. Watcher, who traversest the endless ages of eternity. The heaven was yet uncreated. Uncreated was the earth. The water flowed not. Thou hast put together the earth. Thou hast united thy limbs. Thou hast reckoned thy members. What thou hast found apart, thou hast put into its place. God, architect of the world, thou art without a father, begotten by thine own becoming. Thou art without a mother." The Egyptians understood that God was the sole creator, and that Ptah, meaning from these verses, that he was the one that brought everything into existence, the architect of the world. In the Nua tribe of Sudan, the expression for this supreme God was Kuath, the sky god, and was also called the spirit god of the sky. The spirit referring to an unseen concept. This concept of an unseen God again is repeated in ancient Egypt, as the Netar is symbolized with a flag indicating wind blowing, thus indicating an unseen force. The Kikuyu Bantus of Kenya expressed this supreme deity, supreme all-knowing being and creating God as Ngaye, the unique and omnipotent God. Ngaye is the creator and giver of all things, the divider of the universe and Lord of nature. In the Americas, the Makushi or Carib and Arawaks expressed the creator as Maku Nyame or Maku Nyame, the unseen creator, which sounds similar to the Akan, supreme creator, Nyame, which is a variation of Yahweh. In India, the Supreme is called Brahma. From a biblical context, we see the same Supreme Being at work. In Deuteronomy 32, verse 39, see now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. Numbers 23, verse 19, God is not a man that He should lie, neither the Son of Man that He should repent. In Exodus 20, verse 1 to 3, and God spoketh all these words, saying, I am your Lord, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. According to the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus mentioned, you shall worship the Lord your God, and Him alone shall you serve. If we worship God in spirit and in truth, we cannot worship anyone or anything else. So we see from a biblical perspective that God, the God of the Old Testament, and the God that Jesus Himself described was an omnipotent, creating, all-powerful being that did not have any partners. In the Islamic world, and specifically in the land of Arabia, the theme of this supreme creator is emphasized. Allah, which is the compound noun for Al-Ilah. Ilah, similar to the word in Hebrew, Ilah, which means the true and sole God that is worthy of worship. The sole creator, all-powerful, omnipotent, omniscient, sustainer and creator of the heavens and the earth. Also similar to the word El, which is an ancient word, as we mentioned, the ancient Canaanite expression of the supreme deity and creating God. El, which is a compound of the A sound, which is an Aleph, which is the symbol of a bull, which symbolizes strength, and the L sound, or the Lam, which is symbolized as a staff, which refers or symbolizes leadership. Hence, the meaning, as we refer to God as an El, we refer to Him as the most powerful being, the almighty and all-powerful and omnipotent. In the Quran, in Surah Al-Anbiya, Ayah 30 to 35, Allah says, أَوَلَمْ يَرَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنَّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ كَانَتَا رَتْقًا فَفَتَقْنَاهُمَا وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ أَفَلَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Have those who disbelieved not considered that the heavens and the earth were a joined entity, and we separated them and made from water every living thing? Then will they not believe? وَجَعَلْنَا فِي الْأَرْضِ رَوَاسِيَ أَن تَمِيدَ بِهِمْ وَجَعَلْنَا فِيهَا فِجَاجًا سُبُلًا لَعَلَّهُمْ يَهْتَدُونَ. And we placed within the earth firmly set mountains, lest it should shift with them. And we made therein, within the mountains, passes as roads that they might be guided. وَجَعَلْنَا السَّمَاءَ سَقْفًا مَحْفُوظًا. وَهُمْ عَنْ آيَاتِهَا مُعْرِضُونَ. And we made the sky a protected ceiling, but they from its signs are turning away. وَهُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ اللَّيْلَ وَالنَّهَارَ وَالشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرَ كُلٌّ فِي فَلَكٍ يَسْبَحُونَ. And it is He who created the night and the day, and the sun and the moon. All heavenly bodies in an orbit are swimming. وَمَا جَعَلْنَا لِبَشَرٍ مِّن قَبْلِكَ الْخُلْدَ أَفَإِن مِّتَّ فَهُمُ الْخَالِدُونَ. And we did not grant to any man before you eternity on earth. So if you die, would they be eternal? كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً وَإِلَيْنَا تُرْجَعُونَ. Every soul will taste death, and we test you with evil and with good as trial, and to us you will be returned. These verses have many different benefits. One of them is the fact that it mentions that the heavens and the earth were a joined entity, which is confirmed also by science, and that everything was created from water, and that the sky was protected, was made as a ceiling, and that everything in the heavens, the sun, the moon, and the stars, and all the heavenly bodies are in orbits swimming, which has also been confirmed by science. In another surah, it mentions, وَالسَّمَاءَ بَنَيْنَاهَا بِأَيْدٍ وَإِنَّا لَمُوسِعُونَ. And the heaven we constructed with strength, and indeed we are its expander, confirming the expansion of the heavens and the earth. The information that has been presented is based on a universal concept that there was an all-powerful, perfectly intelligent, all-knowing, omnipotent being before anything actually existed, which according to the same traditions, or according to some traditions, spoke the existence into what we see today as an expanding universe of the most mind-blowing and beautiful entities.